Hi, before this video starts, I just want to say I had a little bit of time this week, so I thought I'd nick together a kind of compilation of all the Battlefront 2 Supremacy maps that I looked at all the prequel details and all the things you may have missed. Smash it all together and upload one as a bit of a bonus upload for this week. So I've edited all the intros out and things like that so we can just get straight into it, and I'll timestamp each planet so you can just pick and choose what you want to watch. Thanks for all the views and interest and support and likes and everything on the most recent Star Wars video. It's done pretty well, so I'm very, very happy about all that, you see. Like this video, hype the video if you want to, you know, no pressure, but it will help me a little bit. And enjoy the video. Okay, bye. See ya.
All units, fire at will. 1-2, pick a target. Too many, Captain. Watch your stabilizer, Gold 6. Anybody cover me. I got 2 vultures on my tail. You've got to hold them here. Watch your left. I can't shake them. I'm hit. Where's the reinforcements? Is it me?
Yes, straight away, look at this map. This game is beautiful. The amount of detail is unbelievable. It's so impressive still. So while we're looking at the sky, let's look at these things. Arc 170s flying around, one there. There's a number of these things flying around in the skybox. One thing I will say though, is this canon? Is this canon? Well, Arc 170s at the Battle of Geonosis, or the second Battle of Geonosis? I'm not sure. There's a vulture droid there as well. Very nice. And now look at these boys. We've got the Geonosians flying around as well. There he is. On this first spawn as well, we've got this beautiful little thing here, an LAAT. Of course, you're used to this by now. I think this is the only one that's fully still operational and not completely destroyed. The rest of them in this map are completely ruined and smashed and dead and buried. The detail on these things is incredible. Miles better than any of the other games that we've looked at. Some Republic Navy boxes here, as well as some of the shield. We've got some forward command posts. There's a couple of these on this map. This is the first one straight off the spawn. Interesting about this one is, you see all these ghostly little handprints all over the screens here. That's creepy as hell. What were they doing? Unless it was a bunch of toddlers. So in the background scene, we have a couple of self-propelled heavy artillery tanks. There they are. Those are the ones with the little legs. I always thought that was quite interesting. They had little feet. Weird design. Never really seen that much in the films or in anything really, apart from the 2003 Clone Wars show. In the background here, we have a core ship for a Lucre Hulk. Of course we do. It's just standard by now, isn't it? You have to have one of these. There he is. Again, scaling really good on this. We zoom in a little bit, we can see another SPHA. Just kind of, I think he's pushed up a bit too far. He's overcooked it there. You're dead. Here's some of the battle here. Now this, we can see the boys getting stuck in here, fighting the droids away. There they are. Look at this. What was he aiming at? Come on. Switch on, lads. And then here we go. The Separatist Army. Spider droid. Go on, shoot the laser. Do it. Come on. Yes! There's the boys. I mean, interesting in this part, actually, you can tell from here, they're wearing Phase 2 armor. Again, is that canon? Or is that not canon? Because I'm pretty sure they were wearing Phase 1. That's all I'm saying. Big nerd. Some Geonosian statues very close to this area as well. These are quite creepy. Especially this one. With these two flying past right now. Good boy. I believe this is an E-web. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it is. Some little cage kind of things down here that lead to the tunnels. They're kind of creepy. There was nothing in there. I did have a look. There's nothing too much of interest in there. The Geonosian spires themselves, the structure, the architecture of the place, very much Attack of the Clones, in my opinion. They're just very cool, very iconic. So this is interesting. A lot of the pillars that are holding up the structures and the rocks around here are the same pillars that we used in Attack of the Clones in the Geonosian arena. I don't know why, because they've even got the kind of little metal hoops where you put the chains through. This is kind of, I don't know, this is weird. Here we go, we're in the tunnel now. This is just absolutely throwing me back to the Clone Wars. You know the one, especially in this place here with the little hives. This is Zombie Village, this. Zombieville. It's a horrible episode. Creepy. So coming out of this cave, and I've been doing game thing. We've got this big, vast desert area. We've got footsteps, reminds me of Attack of the Clones, this scene.
Are you alright?
And then we've got this juggernaut heavy tank here. The guy who's driving this has done a terrible job. Look at this thing, it's buggered. A crashed LA-80. This one is in a rather bad state of disrepair. The wing has come off. It's like in two halves. Well, that's very cool place. Another forward command center here. Look at this now. You can't park here, mate. You can't do it. You've wrecked it. What a moron. God, the insurance is... So here's a very interesting part that I noticed. There is a pool near the Republic spawn, and it's full of skeletons of various creatures. Only one that I think I can identify. It's this one here. It's the only one with a skull. Now, I believe that this is the crate dragon from Tatooine. You can tell by the long kind of body here. I think it is, because I think they've just used this from Battlefront 1 and dropped it in. Maybe, tell me if I'm wrong, because none of the other skeletons match up with this one. They're all different. Especially kind of this big one here. It has a little arm there, look, little flapper. That's completely different. The spine is completely different on this one. Again, this one is completely different. I presume they're all different creatures. But what a crate dragon is doing on Geonosis, I have no idea. I mean, I know the Geonosians kind of capture creatures that we've seen in Attack of the Clones, but have they captured a crate dragon? I don't know, but there he is. So here we go. We can see that this bad boy actually isn't stood on anything. He's just floating.
Hey, come on, guys. Do the job. Shoot them. Kill the clankers. Hey, Paul. Hey, Paul. Hey, let me tell you something, boy. Hey. I forgot.
So here we have a Hailfire droid. This is one of about 1,000 on this map. Next to it here, Spider droid. Smashed up. And then in the background, here we go. Look at the battle droids. Here they are. All walking around cluelessly as usual. There we go. And oh, look at this. This is rare. What we have here is a battle droid mating ritual. Look at all this. Look. They run around in circles like delinquents. Yeah, look. Oh. We might see some action soon. Look at this. Wow. So here we have a Techno-Union ship. I believe this is a hard cell class interstellar transport. There you go. In the background here, we can just see two more of these SPHAs. And next to me on my right, we've got another ATTE destroyed. So down below this area, we've got a couple of battle droids that have unfortunately met a terrible demise at this command post. There they go, look at them. It's such a sad sight. Dead. My boys. Here's another spider droid and another ATTE. Completely buggered. That won't buff out. No way. So heading up towards the top command post, I saw this horrendous sight. The boys. Dead. Killed by these two morons in the prime of their youth. And then over the hill, 3 more. This is terrible. This is a travesty. It makes me so angry. The boys. God bless you, boys. I don't know whether this steam is coming from an underground factory or just like it's a natural kind of geyser. I'm not sure. Here we go, another spider droid. I think this one's with the leg extension out here. Perfect form. I think he slipped off this ledge. He slipped off and just bugged himself. So under there, we've got another ATT way far out in the distance. He's gone way too far in. Probably got shot by this boy. And then look at this. A lone dwarf spider droid. Just depressed on his own. What are you thinking about, mate? Are you okay? No. No, it's these. These two guys here. Maybe they're his friends. They're leaving him out. Well, these are the cool kids. The detail, though, on these dwarf spider droids is insane. Look at that.
I'm right here. Come on, shoot me.
Techno-Union ship. Yeah, destroyed. Another Hellfire and Spider Droid. These are littered everywhere. There's another one, and whoa! A smashed to bits LA-AT. This is in half. This guy has royally f***ed it. There's no coming back from that. Another Hellfire Droid, and an ATT in the background. And this is really interesting actually. So in the background here, I zoomed in, I noticed this. This is an AAT. And it's the only one in the entire map. You know, there's loads of the other stuff, but it's the only one there, surrounded by these three little skull bugs. Interesting. This is a better look at the Hellfire Droid. You see the red eye. And another one there. Again, I said there was lots. This is a better look at the ATT. He's kind of showing his arse in the air, bent over. Again, this is completely knackered, this thing. Nobody's surviving that. Nobody. So if you jump on this rock and do a little bit of parkour, you can actually see an overview of the whole kind of background of this whole shot. We've got what looks like it's an LAAT again. Crashed. Something just blew up. Another Techno-Union ship in the background. Well, there's another one even further in the background over there as well. Hellfire Droid, ATT. Another SPHA. Another LAAT. Another Hellfire Droid. Another ATT. And then way in the back is another Hellfire Droid. ATT right in front of me here as well. There's loads of stuff. Absolutely destroyed, just decimated everywhere. There we go, another ATT. And yet another SPHA. A Hellfire Droid on the left, and now this. You tell me now, okay, is this a Venator or is this an Acclimator? Because I'm 90% sure it's an Acclimator, because you've only got the one, oh look at this fella. Where's he going? Oh, the one command brig at the top there. I'm not sure though. Another LAAT up there, smashed to bits. This is around the back canyon area. Another ATT. Countless of these on this battlefield. We've got two more forward command posts here. There they are. ATT again. These are completely destroyed. There's another LAAT up there. This is way far in the back now in this canyon. Oh, what's that? There's another wing up there. Is that a wing? LAAT wing? Potentially. Oh, Jesus. Now this guy has had a crash.
Wow.
So I can't tell whether this is a LAAT or whether it's the kind of transport one. Not sure. Then finally at the bottom here next to the Juggernaut we've got two more ATTs. And then one behind you up top as well if you spin around. Lots of dead things.
All units, fire at will. 1-2, pick a target. Too many, Captain. Watch your stabilizer, Gold 6. Anybody cover me. I got two vultures on my tail. You're gonna hold them here. Watch your left. I can't shake them. I'm hit. I'm hit. Where's the reinforcement?
So the instant action supremacy version of this map loads in at sort of an evening time, which means it makes for some absolutely insane lighting. Look at that. Beautiful. The first thing that I want to mention is that you can actually go inside of the palace here in any of the other game modes such as co-op, but for this map it's shut. A cool thing that I noticed are these statues on the way up to the palace, which are obviously in the films and are just very imposing, kind of cool, elegant statues. Now I did a bit of a search on what these things actually are and I actually can't find any information. It just keeps coming up with Lego Star Wars, like there's like a puzzle to do with that in the game, these statues. I don't know. So if anyone knows what these statues are, what they represent, what they mean to the people of Naboo, then let me know in the comments because I actually don't know. Moving down from there, we can turn around, we can get this beautiful shot of the front of the palace here. And moving towards the skyline, I thought it was a good idea to talk about what ships we can see in the air above us fighting around. So from what I can tell, we've got vulture droids there and potentially some vulture droid bombers flying around. Of course, we have the ever so elegant N1 Naboo starfighters. There they are. There's a lot of those flying around. Really cool, amazing ship. We have, of course, the classic ARC 170s there. Nice little shot of this bad boy flying around. Whoa, look at that new ship. Oh, it's a pigeon. So before we get into any of the carnage of this map, I wanted to get into sort of like what I'm going to show you first. So the map's split into 3 lanes really, kind of clear lanes. You've got the side on the river, down the middle corridor, and then on the left towards sort of more of the inner city. And facing the droid spawn, we're going to do some of the right side first. The lighting is so nice. It's like you're walking around Italy or something like that at night in the evening. Beautiful lighting, the way it just like expels these oranges around the kind of shaded architecture. Even these little details like the lights wrapped around the tree here, it just has such a cool warm vibe to it. Like if this wasn't a war-torn city being destroyed, then you could chill here for a very long time, I imagine. Look at the detail in the buildings and the foliage, the leaves, the vines cascading down the side here. Has to be one of the most detailed maps in this game, surely. Look at it, it's beautiful. You can see parts of the palace sort of peeping through these alleyways here as well. Now if you look into some of the houses here, you can see that it's the same as Kashyyyk. If you watch that video, they'd put kind of a JPEG behind the windows that moves sort of with your eye line to it. Gives the illusion that there is like a 3D space behind there. But what I found interesting, I think that is maybe just a JPEG picture of the interior of the palace, copied and pasted through all of these houses. I mean, I might be wrong, but I swear it is. Again, just look at this map. The night ambience there. These little kind of orange street lights bathing everything in this warm glow. The detail on the pillars and the buildings, I honestly just can't get my head around how long this would take to make. There's a lot of abandoned seating areas around here as well that you can find. That weird bird. What the hell is he about? All the other buildings in the background peeking in through little cracks. It just gives that whole vibe that the city's alive. It's a bigger place than just the map. So parked behind a few buildings in this right side, we can find a Util 313 speeder bus. And these are everywhere on this map, but sort of out of bounds, so you can't have a look at them properly. So this is the best look at one of these that we can get in the entire game. Moving on from the bus, we reach this little courtyard and we can see the first remnants of the battle start to creep in here. A couple of dead battle droids left abandoned here. And something that I have realized is that the dead battle droid placement in this map particularly, you can tell there's a lot more thought that's gone into it. Most of the battle droid bodies that you see are sort of interacting with the environment in some way, like this guy's fallen into a bush and you can see the bush has been crushed behind him. So sort of hidden away on the right side, close to the out of bounds area, we can find this speeder car. I don't know what it is off the top of my head, but that's parked in this little alleyway. I'm starting to think these birds have something to do with the leaves, like they have some kind of control over the wind. There's something going on here. Look at them. That's not natural. What I think you should do if you're exploring this map is every so often just turn around and look at where you've just been from a different perspective, because oh my god, this map is so aesthetically pleasing. Moving on to the left lane, the part closest to the palace is probably the most quiet part of the map that you'll find. There's a lot of these really beautiful ambient buildings around everywhere. Look down the street right now. The lighting is beautiful, it's on point. You can just see the wind blowing through, the leaves flying around, and then some of the biters flying around above. Like, it's cinema. It's cinematic as hell. There's this statue as well that you can see off in the distance. I think this is the only version of this statue on the map, but I don't really know who or what that is. Again, you can see off in the distance the surrounding buildings and what looks to be sort of like a park area. We've got another speeder bus there, and then a lot more of these statues, including this one right here, which I believe is depicting a woman holding the globe of peace, which is what you can see at the end of the Phantom Menace. Again, looking over the river, we can see more speeders and really nicely lit buildings. Turning around from there, we can find our first tragedy, the first dead clone. There he is, surrounded by battle droid bodies. He went out fighting. And now around this command post, speaking of dead battle droids, there's an influx of body parts surrounding the point itself and everywhere around in the street. And this is only going to get worse. I think just these quiet sort of bodies lying here with the wind and the leaves flying around them is so somber but oddly aesthetically pleasing in a way. Hang on, there's a bird there. Look, there's something going on. So on the riverside, it's a little bit more expansive and you can walk around and explore a little bit more. And dropping down to the waterside, we can find another specifically placed battle droid body.
Roger, roger.
There he is, crushed some bushes and having a drink of this pond. That is just really cool to me. So looking around this area, we can see the waterfall at the end. And as we pan across the shot of the city, we can see some of these bad boys Now these seem to be native to Naboo and are some kind of Star Wars gondola, but there's a lot of them down this river, which clearly show the inspirations of Naboo from places like Italy and Spain. Moving a little bit further down, we can see all these food stands and this amazing chest of onions or turnips, whatever these are. So there you go, a little detail for you. The return of the Republic shield and the Republic Navy logos on all the containers. There we go, look at all the food just left abandoned here, all very highly detailed as we move into this restaurant area. And then what do we find? 2 more battle droids, and one of them's obviously had a little bit too much to drink. But again, this area is surrounded by dead battle droids, purposefully placed as well. So an odd little thing that I did notice was this bush in the middle of the river. It's like a 2D just JPEG that moves with you. Flashbacks to those videos that you see on TikTok or Instagram or whatever, of people outrunning like a picture of Michael Jackson or whatever it is, like a JPEG that just follows you around. Is that just me? No? Anyone else? Again, like I said on the other side, just spin around, just turn around and have a look at where you've just been. Look at this map. It's crazy. Look at how beautiful this is. The ambience is off the scale on this map. The wind, the leaves, the buildings, and then the fighters flying around above you. It's crazy how good this map is. Moving back through the buildings, now we can really see that the body droid parts are kind of ramping up a little bit now. We can even find a fire pit full of them and our second dead clone. And I want you to guess in the comments right now, how many dead clones do you think are on this map compared to the battle droids? Because there's quite a big disparity in bodies here. So let's get to arguably the coolest and best place in this map. Right down the middle corridor. So panning around the environment, we can already see the pure carnage and chaos down this middle alleyway. Everything is on fire, and everybody is dead. Remnants of the battle lie burning and bleeding in everywhere you look. But first I want to mention this little area off to the right here, which sort of looks like the area that they burned Qui-Gon Jinn's body in The Phantom Menace. It may be the same kind of type of building, but not the exact same place. I just thought I'd mention that. Dead clone number 3. Again, surrounded by battle droids. This guy went out fighting. He's taken about 8 of them out here, including a double pair of identical legs. What the hell? Moving further, moving on down the street, we can find this immense pile of dead battle droids here, burning up next to this AAT that's been completely decimated. Again, similarly with the lights, the fire on this map in this evening time just adds to this kind of quiet, warm aesthetic. Dead clone number 4, there he is, bless him. And then panning past this burnt up ATTE, we can find dead clone number 5. Now onto the ATT itself. This thing has been absolutely cooked. Look at it, it's destroyed, decimated on fire, but it makes for such a cool vista to look at. And an interesting little part about this is, if you pan slightly to the right, there's another AAT which is clearly rammed into him and maybe destroyed them both. But the interesting thing about this AAT is if you look at it closely, what can you see? This has got the tan colour. And then that one over there is the CIS blue and white. Interesting choice. I think this is like the original kind of Trade Federation tan. I don't know why there's 2 different colours there, but sort of interesting. Further down the street, we can find this really, really cool pit of burning battle droids. Look at that. What a shot. I can't tell you how many battle droid parts are on this map, but it's more than any other map I think combined. Dead clone number 6, and then quickly followed down the street by dead clone number 7 and 8. That by the looks of it went out in a blaze of glory, defending Naboo. How cool is that with the kind of wind and the smoke blowing past them? Very cool shot. Honestly, all the way down this middle corridor, it's just littered with dead battle droids.
He's dead.
Everywhere you look. Dead clone number 9, followed by dead clone number 10. They tried their best. Yet more dead battle droids litter the street as we come up to the big archway in the middle of the map. Now this is obviously inspired by the Arc de Triomphe in France, and I'm pretty sure you can see it in nearly every Star Wars prequel film. It's quite a recognizable, iconic part of Naboo. And going underneath it, you can really see the scale of this thing and the detail that they've put into designing it. It is huge. But before we explore the end of this middle corridor, we're going to shift back over to the right side and into this little market area where we find dead clone number 11, again surrounded by battle droids. This market has been obliterated by war. Around this area and in the map in general, you can find these tubes These not leading anywhere. I presume they're like fuel tubes or something, but interesting little detail. Now in the right of that area is this kind of dark street. And I just thought this was really cool. Again, the ambience that the lighting brings to this map is unmatched in any other map, I think. But spinning all the way around again, what do we have? Dead clone number 12. Just in front of another burning AAT. And this one is also in the tan colour. On the right of him, another AAT, but in Separatist blue. And below that, dead clone number 13. This ATT obviously got in a firefight or a skirmish with these 3 AATs and managed to take them all out somehow. There he is, creeping through the building there. Destroyed, but he went out fighting. Such a cool little area of the map, this. Obviously a massive fight took place. Dead clone number 14, arm, trapped underneath the leg of the ATT here.
What have I done?
Just look at that shot though. Inflamed ATT climbing over the rubble. Dead clone number 15. Again, I might need your help here. I tried to find any information on these sort of horse, dog statue things here, what creature this actually is. Leave me a comment and tell me, educate me as to what these things are. Dead clone number 16. Maybe you thought that we could get away with no LAAT on this map, but as usual, they just can't help themselves. It's not a full LAAT, but there is a wing of an LAAT right there. That counts. Very cool visual. Moving down towards the droid spawn, we can see another immense flame pit of burning battle droid parts walking underneath the second arch. It won't let us go any further, but we can see another burning AAT in the background, and then the rest of the city that's been already taken over by the droids, or there's more fighting going on in the background. Just such a cool design map. It looks amazing. And then again, like I said before, please just turn around and then you can see the palace in all its glory. How amazing is this map? It blows my mind. So before we end here as well on this shot of Theed's palace, I just want to mention that in the Galactic Assault version of this map, you can actually see people of Naboo running around at the beginning. And it's kind of annoying that they didn't put that in Supremacy, because that would have added to the ambience and the kind of aura of this map, quite frankly. But they didn't put it in for whatever reason. I just thought I'd mention that it is in the other versions of this map.
All units, pirate wheel. 4-2, pick a target. Too many, Captain. Watch your stabilizer, Gold 6. Anybody cover me. I got 2 vultures on my tail. You've got to hold them here. Watch your left. I can't shake them. I'm hit. Where's the reinforcements?
Someone's malfunctioning if they think attacking our home's a good idea. Show them the sons of Kamino aren't letting any scrap pile wannabes take our command posts.
So straight away, if you pick the clone spawn, which I don't know why you'd pick the droids, that's just weird. But if you spawn with the clones, then we jump straight into the clone barracks, which as you can see here is full of these little bed pods. They don't really particularly look too comfortable, but they do remind me of the Clone Wars episode where the droids attack Kamino and all the little cadets jump out of these pods and start destroying all the droids, and 99 gets shot to death. There's loads of clone armor lying around here, obviously because it's the barracks and they get dressed when they wake up. Brush their teeth, put a bit of armor on. But interesting enough, I think it's all phase 2 armor, which is, you know, call me a nerd, I think the Battle of Kamino was a little bit earlier in the war. It was all phase 1 armor, wasn't it? Let me know if I'm wrong there, but I think it was. I don't know if it changes depending on the game mode that you play. Maybe in Galactic Assault it might be phase 1. I think I've seen a screenshot somewhere of it, a phase 1 helmet on this map, but these were all phase 2. As you can see here, not a lot of clones have bothered to get dressed this morning. Everything's just laying around. It adds to the whole vibe of it though. You know, it's rushed. The droids are attacking, get your boxes on, put your trousers up and get the hell out of there. Into the hangar bay, we are greeted with this sight, and there's a lot going on here, including this workplace accident, which we'll get to in a little bit. So there's lots of Republic Navy insignia everywhere, little logos on the boxes everywhere, as you can see. There we go. It's on pretty much everything. This is the control panel, I think, for the crane, for moving the pods around. And there's a couple of these bad boys here. V-wings, very nice, super light, sleek model for these. You can see the little astromech at the top there as well. Really high res models for these. I don't think we've ever had like such a close-up look at these ships in any other game. There's a Republic logo on the side of that one there. In the background there, you can see we've got some Kamino and flight pods. Now you might recognize these from the Clone Wars as well. Asajj Ventress nicks one of these and escapes with General Grievous after the battle's finished. And then here's some cranes that they use to transport them around the hangar. Now this links onto this scene where some bloody idiot has dropped a pod on top of a V-wing. not only destroying the V-Wing, but as you can see at the bottom, look at this. For God's sake, man, you had one job. Now 2 of the lads are dead. You've got one at the front here, he's just gone. Look at him, poor fella. But then round the back you can see one has actually been completely destroyed, squished by the pod. And also he's on fire, so that's not very good, is it? Somebody should definitely be fired about this. I'm not having it. One thing that I will show you multiple times in this video is just the quality of the rain, like textures falling off. Now you can see it all just cascading off the side of the buildings in the storm. It creates such like a unique atmosphere. There's loads of other platforms you can see around the map as well. Just look at this. Look at this building here. They shine because of the rain. It just looks completely accurate to Attack of the Clones. So just a little tiny detail, but it just, you can see every individual splash on the surfaces of these platforms. And also, look, you can see the wind blowing through, and it changes the direction of the rain. How amazing is that? So this is like inside the main area of the map. We've got kind of a few little terminals around here. There's screens above you as you walk around.
Just like the simulation.
There's a big globe of Kamino in the middle there. I presume it shows enemy spacecraft in the atmosphere and where they're being attacked from. I think this shows the structural integrity of the platforms and where the main attack is. Some consoles here as well. I don't know what any of these buttons do. I have no idea. So if you look above you on this map, you can see a lot of these bad boys flying around. These are Iwas or Awas, native to Kamino. So straight opposite this, here we go, is one of the main points of this map where you've probably battled a million times. So this is an absolutely buggered Trident class assault ship from the CIS. Now you can see it completely dead. It's taken up a lot of the room on the platform here, and it gives it a nice little focus point to fight around if you've ever played the Supremacy version of this map with other people. The ship itself is just a very, very cool design.
Squid.
You can see the scale underneath here as well. And of course, it won't be one of these videos without some kind of destroyed LAAT. Here is one of them. He's been grabbed by the droid and squished to death.
Ow!
A nice little detail, I think, is the lights underneath where the droids drop out of after it's drilled into the side of whatever it's getting into. There's a lot of destroyed structures around it as well. It's obviously come down with quite an impact. Over there, I think this looks to me like the landing pad that Obi-Wan landed on in Attack of the Clones, or a very similar one at least. You can see the legs of the platforms going all the way into the sea.
Wow.
Very interesting, very cool. The sea itself is very, very choppy. I mean, have a look at that. You would not want to be swimming or surfing in there. It always, looking down at this map, it always made me think, you know, there's got to be some kind of horrific sea monster in there just floating around. Here's some more of the rain. Just look at that. You can see the wind blowing it across the surface of the metal there. I think that's so cool. They're spinning around. Ignore them for a minute. We've got another LAAT. There he is. This guy, I think, has been shot down, or he's, you know, been drunk behind the wheel and he's had a nightmare and crashed it into a pillar. Yeah, you can see the wing's been taken clean off. He's had an absolute terrible time. Consumed by flames inside as well. You can see all the damage here. Terrible stuff, really. I mean, come on.
All right, mate. Can't park there, sir.
Probably, I'd say one of the main features of this map is in the background there are multiple Trident class assault ships jumping out the water. But if you actually have a look at it, you can see it drilling in there. Shrapnel going everywhere. There's spinning blades. But then, there's no missiles that hit them unless that was like just not put in by accident. They just blow up and then fall off into the sea. You can see them jumping out. The sea all over them, the water spraying everywhere. And then insert penetration time.
What?
You know, these are amazing details. There's about 4 or 5 of these around the map. You can see a platform in the distance as well, just completely destroyed and submerged in the water. On fire as well. Really cool.
Oh my god!
So if we walk under this little bit here, I really just like this tiny area. Look, you can just see all the rain and the storm in the background. That is like so atmospheric to me. Look at it, the waterfall that's just pouring off the side here. Incredible. And I know I keep banging on about it, but just look at the reflections and the lighting of this map. It's incredible. Like the detail, the level of detail is just insane. So walking in through here, we find what I believe is a medical bay. One of the most interesting points about this place is there's a massive hole in the roof. There it is. Just an almighty draft in this place. You can see like the beds. This must be like, I don't know, the main operating tables. Around the sides of it, we've got a lot of private rooms, you know, operating places or where patients are, screens showing the data, test tube things. As you can see from the colossal hole in the top of the roof, that's actually leaking water. It's going all the way down the side and creating like little puddles in the room. I've never noticed that before, but there you go.
This is a new feeling.
Presume these rooms on their own are like intensive care or something like that. There's a lot more going on in there. And then there's this, as you walk out, you can find this little room, which is, I really don't know what this room is. I do remember playing this and running through here, but not really looking around. It's got a lot of damage in the room, as you can see. An electrician's nightmare. But not a lot going on in here. It's just kind of various tables, this spire in the middle. The seats, you know, people sitting down watching something. I have no idea what this room is. But then moving away from that and going down the corridor, we can find this little place. And a little further, we've got this main room here. And I think these to me look like clone DNA sample areas. You take one of those tubes out and there's loads of clone DNA in there. I'm not sure. It's a cool room though. Lots of cool lighting. Just on the right of that, there is a walkway as we're getting to the droid spawn with a lot of dead B1s everywhere. As they should be. Nasty little creatures. Properly destroyed. Walking through the door, there's a few more. Lots of blaster damage everywhere as well. This has been an absolute firefight, or maybe a massacre. The droids didn't stand a chance. The sparking of the electrical circuits above is like really adds to like this creepy vibe of it as well. These dead bodies just being lit up by sparks. Yet more battle droids near the entrance of their spawn, completely decimated and destroyed. In the droid spawn, there is even more battle droids. I think, you know, in this map, I've found 2 dead clones, but about 30 battle droids. And this to me looks very familiar to Attack of the Clone. These little sitting pods, where Obi-Wan and I think it's Prime Minister Lama Su, is that it? They have a little chat about the clone army.
All units, fire at will. 1-2, pick a target. Too many, Captain. Watch your stabilizer, Gold 6. Anybody cover me. I got 2 vultures on my tail. You've got to hold them here. Watch your left. I can't shake them. I'm hit. I'm hit. Where's the reinforcements?
Straight when we spawn in, we can see this insane vista of the trees and the beach in front of us, as well as 2 LA-ATs taking off and leaving us for dead. Let's have a first glimpse at this map and just how amazing the details are. Straight away, we can see right in front of us, the map looks like it's been ripped straight out of Revenge of the Sith. It's literally like almost a 1-to-1 copy. The accuracy is actually quite staggering. We can see the mountains off in the distance there, shrouded in cloud and heavy foliage. I think this has got to be one of the coolest skyboxes out of all the maps in this game. The lighting as well is just perfect on this map. Look at the sun on the platform down there and it just shining through those bushes. They've just done like an absolutely unbelievable job with this map. Look at that. The lighting is unreal. You can see the leaves blowing past in the breeze, or because of a massive explosion, I'm not sure. We're heading back to the clone spawn. We could see an AAT blown to smithereens in front of me here. And obviously you can't really escape the Juggernaut tanks that are parked right in front of you. Heavily battle damaged. This clearly is taken from after the droids succeed in blowing them both up, as you can see with the damage there, and it's also got no front. The cockpit has been completely destroyed. There you go, the front's been completely taken off, completely gone. We can see straight outside onto the beach. The poor guys that were sat in here, oh my god. Yeah, look at the layout of this place. It's like a maze, it's like a massive bus, just with like less crazy people that want to stab your heart out. We've got the standard dildo launcher on the side as well. And then this, I believe, is the rest of the cockpit that, as you can see, has been completely blown out. There's a lot of Republic Navy insignia on the boxes around the Juggernaut tanks and throughout the map. Heading down from there, we have a Caterpillar tank that is really in a bad shape, actually. It's been shot so hard, all the paint's come off it. It's going to be one hell of a repair job for whoever's got to fix this. I do like this tank, though. It's I think it's underutilized in the films and shows. Just down from there, we have an MTT. Now, this thing is decked out in the CIS blue. It's quite an imposing and scary point on the map until you realise it's got a little sad face, look. Oh, little sad face. Bless him. Heading down from there, if you spin all the way around and look straight back, you can get a good glimpse of the Venator destroyer. You can get a good shot of the bridge of the Venator that is completely engulfed in flames. It's not looking too good up there. The door that can open and is usually open in Supremacy and Galactic Assault is closed on this version of the map, but you can see heavy battle damage on the front. They've been blasting this thing to pieces. You can see the turrets on the top there, looking intact. Again though, on fire. Now I like this shot right here. You pan up from the Juggernaut tank and then see again the bridge towering over the top of the whole map. It's a really cool backdrop to fight against. So an essential part of this map is the wildlife and the fauna around the whole area. We have an immense level of detail in the water there. Like, look at this. This actually looks real. All the little jibbies and bits in there floating around. There are loads and loads of different plant types on this map. Each one of them is super high res and very detailed. Even the trees are detailed with you can see the detail on the leaves there. There are loads of bits and bobs all over the ground. And these big grass bushes are amazing for capturing the light shooting through.
Wow.
Let's look at these leaves as well on some of the higher platforms. This just looks like a pile of wet leaves that you'd walk through in real life in autumn. I don't know why I find that so amazing. The wind blowing through the water is real. Oh shit! As I was saying, the wind blowing through the water just gently adds to the immersion of this Kashyyyk map.
This is a new feeling.
So moving on from the wildlife and onto the structures, we've got a lot of boats around here. So this to me sort of symbolizes that this area could be flooded a lot. This is why the little Wookiees need some boats to get around on. And there's various buildings around here, some with command posts in when you play the game. All of them are very cool, very like aesthetically pleasing, tall, covered in these vines and the grass, and the iconic kind of random Wookiee platforms that lead to nowhere. Very like Asian inspired buildings maybe, but like Louisiana swamp versions. An interesting thing about this building in particular is there's a lot of clone armor lying around and Republic Navy storage boxes here. Here we go, there's some more clone armor right here. A helmet and a chest plate. As well as these kind of like Wookiee stick things that they use in the film. The buildings are like they're just super aesthetically pleasing to me. Give me that kind of fantasy wizards book kind of vibe. Again, there's a lot of Wookiee paraphernalia, shall we call it, lying around. We've got some big ass shields in the back there. And just as I said before, a lot of random platforms that sort of lead to absolutely nowhere, but are very cool to look at and very uniquely designed. If you actually stop and look around, look at the light on this building. It's homely. I want to live here, chill out here, but not get shot by a clanker. Again, look at the lighting in this scene. It's just being thrown against the tall grass and the platforms there. There's a couple of these ruined platforms everywhere as well that adds to like the whole thing. Also kind of reminds me of The Force Unleashed for some reason. So now let's talk about the big trees.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out!
Now these are everywhere in the background of the map and are obviously some kind of living situation for the Wookiees, which again gives me that thing that the tide comes in this area and they need to live higher up. I know the Wookiees live higher up in general anyway, in the trees. That's like their thing. There's loads of little rooms and platforms and houses and everything on there, with the lights on inside even. There's something just so impressive about the detail, the level of detail in these trees. They tower over the entire map. You can't miss them. The houses and the platforms kind of remind me of mushrooms growing up a tree in real life. I think that's probably the design influence there, but I think that's really sick. Like, look at this shot here. I don't know how the hell they get around though. There's something interesting that I noticed was the actual inside. It is literally just like a load of JPEGs that move with your eye line. You can see them shifting around in there. We're in the middle of the map. There's this absolutely bogged down Juggernaut with the command post inside. Cockpit intact though. We've got the classic LA-80. Now, I say this every video, but you cannot have a Star Wars prequel map without a crashed LA-80 in it. It is the law, it's the rules, and here's one right now, and it's been absolutely messed up. It's almost snapped in half, but it makes a good point to fight around. They always do. So let's have a look at the right side of the map here. We get... Oh, hang on. What the hell is going on here? Interesting. Okay. On the right side of the map, we have this kind of big impending wall that surrounds this whole area. I imagine that potentially is where the sea actually gets up to. That's like the wall where it stops, potentially. Mate, look at this map right now. That's incredible. So around this area of the map, there's these oil refinery looking things. Instantly gives me flashbacks to the original Battlefront 2 and that horrible level where you have to defend them from the CIS blowing them up. And as we head further down the beach, we'll find these bad boys. Now these are everywhere. There are battle droid parts just absolutely blown out everywhere. They're in the shade, they're in the sun, they're in the sand, they're in the bushes, they are everywhere. A lot of legs as well. A lot of legs, not a lot of arms, just a lot of legs going on. This guy's having an awful headache. And moving further on down the beach, we've got what I'm going to call the triad of snail tanks. We've got two right here that tried to make it as far as they can, and then the little brother in the background that's been shot further back. So interestingly, this juggernaut tank is facing the wrong direction and has completely beached himself, and his tyre has come off. He's having a nightmare of a day. We've got some Republic blast shields here, and then a forward command post, the only one in the map. Interestingly, on this one, there's a clone helmet placed just right on top there. Somebody might have forgot that. You might have needed that, mate. Back to the Juggernaut, you can actually walk underneath this one, which I think is pretty cool. I bet a lot of people have had a flank down here. A good old flank. So at first, I thought this was a Wookiee trampoline, but unfortunately, it's not. It's just kind of like a big table. Another destroyed Juggernaut tank here. And then the only other AAT on the map is right there. He didn't make it very far, and he's right next to his dad here, the MTT. Again, what's up, mate? You okay? Yet another Juggernaut tank further on. And then something that I find absolutely hilarious at the back here is this kind of quote-unquote battle that's going on, which really just kind of looks like it's a bunch of Wookiees walking around. Look at this. They're just kind of aimlessly shooting. Like, he's just stood there. That droid didn't know what he's doing. He's facing the wrong way. And these lot are having a meeting down here. But they're just stood there. I mean, you're not really meant to look at it in that much detail, but I just think it's absolutely hilarious. Now, above you, instead of Arc 170s and Ultra droids flying around, we have these Wookiee ships that are flying about above you. They're really, really fast and hard to get footage of. But there we go. I've got some. And as we reach the end of the beach, look at the background here. It's bloody beautiful. Just ripped straight out of the movie. Amazing.
All units, fire at will. 4-2, pick your targets. Too many, Captain. Watch your stabilizer, Gold 6. Anybody cover me. I got two vultures on my tail. You've got to hold them here. Watch your left. I can't shake them. I'm hit. I'm hit. Where's the reinforcements?
Look at how gorgeous this planet is. The detail is incredible here. Let's just pan around and have a look at this. Even the lighting is amazing. Whoa, wow. Let's have a look at the sky, shall we? So, as I can see here, we've got an Arc 170 there, being followed by some vulture droids. You can see these a bit clearer than on Geonosis. Very nice.
All right.
Look at this planet. It's incredible. So if we spin all the way around at the clone spawn, there we go. What's this? A Juggernaut tank, just like in Geonosis. However, this one isn't completely crashed and destroyed. And you can actually see it firing off its rockets at a target in the distance, of which we'll talk about in a little bit. There's also a second one behind that, a bit further back. There he is, kind of hidden in the brush. Now, these big kind of mountainous, I don't even know what you'd call these natural tendrils that stick out of the earth. They always remind me of bones, like it could be a big creature that's died. Very fascinating. So this planet also features quite a lot of wildlife with it, like this little fella here. I believe this is just called a Felucian bird. I don't know if it has a real name. If it does, let me know. There he is, flying away. Goodbye, lovely son. Look at the background here as well. You can see more of these like remains. These are interesting. These are Felucian snails. They're kind of freaky, but there's loads of these on this map. And now here we have one of the two dead Rancors. There he is. Lovely little chap. Go on, blink for me. Go on. So obviously this guy's dead. Now I think you can tell how he died by looking at these kind of purple spiked things. Whether these are bones or these are poisonous plants, I don't know. But this guy's been gobbling the hell out of these. You can see by all of them near his feet and his mouth. He's been poisoned. He's poisoned himself. So here's some more Republic shields. These plants, if you shoot them, explode. Leave a little fart cloud. Republic forward command post. There, very nice in this cave. Again, like Geonosis, you can see these kind of ghostly handprints on it. Very interesting. And here we have Rancor number 2. Now this guy's a bit higher up, he's climbed up a bit further up. So just underneath him here, you can find a dead Galagrub. There he is. Little fat lovely there. Little grubbly grub grub. There's the Rancor now. This guy's chilling out in front of the sun. I mean, he's dead, but, you know, he looks fairly relaxed. Again, he's been eating those flipping poison things. What a moron. So here's a Felucian manta. They're not in the sea, they're just flying around in the air. Very interesting. And this part of the map obviously features the thing that we all know about, the big Sarlacc. So this Sarlacc is probably one of the biggest that you can find in any Star Wars video game. You can see the teeth stretching out for miles there in the back. Much bigger than the one on Tatooine, the pit of Carcoon. This one's also filled with water, so he's been waterboarded. Somebody has waterboarded the Sarlacc and completely annihilated him from the inside. It's still quite eerie and scary though, with his teeth just strewn around the whole place. He's also got some little fish inside him as well, you can see there. Lovely little fishies. Now I wanted to see if I could see if this has the beak. And there it is. If you zoom in far enough and stand right on the edge, careful not to slip in, you can see the beak of the Sarlacc in there. Very creepy. It makes me feel weird. So let's have a look at some of the villages. So first off, we have this laser-gated farm. This is quite nice. This reminds me of the Clone Wars episode where you see all this kind of stuff. I'll throw that up on screen. So the funny thing about this is you can turn the laser gate off. Did anyone know that? If you just hold X there. So this village has a lot of little houses. This is what they look like. And there's loads and loads of little houses. You can go inside. Each one of these is fully explorable inside. And every single one has a different layout of the interior. So, you know, this one's got a fire here. This one's been... a mealtime has been interrupted. There's a little party going on outside. That drink looks kind of nice, actually. A lime soda, what is that? Again, look, this one. Little crayon set up there. Kids drawing something. This is the biggest house of the village. I presume this is where the mayor of all the little fellas lives, maybe. His is kind of barren, though. Not really much going on apart from the fire in here. Oh, no! Further down from the village, you can find this. One of the boys. Oh, God, not again. No. There's this kind of little transport thing as we head down towards the droid spawn. I don't know what this is. I presume it's CIS. There's a spider droid there, smashed up, blown up. Here we go. The classic LA-AT. This one is in a rather bad way. Crashed and burning. Very nice though. Very cool model for this. I like its placement as well. Reminds me of the Force Unleashed. Some battle droid dead parts strung about this whole corridor leading down towards their spawn. There's loads of these dead legs and arms. He's killed some Galagrubs. He's smashed into them, poor bastard. Now this is interesting. The wing has obviously come off. There's one there, but there's also one right there as well. So which one is it? Why is there two wings? Interesting.
The name's Sherlock Holmes.
Pile of dead scrubbly grubbly grub grubs there.
What?
This is a Hailfire droid head, I believe. There's its wheel. And I think these are two main body parts of a spider droid. There's an AAT here. The top half turret is being completely shot off. That's quite cool. Hailfire droid and some more spider droid cores. Oh no, no! A burning Galagrub. Oh. MTTs, directly where the droids spawn from. There they are. Pretty cool, all painted up. CIS colours. Here's some more of those battle droid parts on the floor.
Wow.
Very cool. Here we have an ATTE. It's kind of slid down this hill, been shot to death. Another spider droid there opposite the ATT, so I presume these two have had a bit of a scrap. There he is. This one has been, I think it's direct shot to the driver's seat. Very cool though. Now I'll throw this up on screen, the exact name of this, but this droid lander, you know, from the Phantom Menace, is very recognizable. This is actually where the droids spawn from. This is their spawn point, just behind the MTTs. Very cool. It's completely on fire, as you can see with the smoke there. And also, the Juggernauts from the beginning shoot their missiles directly all the way over the map to hit this droid landing craft. That's pretty cool, right?
Roger, roger.
Here's another AAT. Nice little shot with the sun behind it there. Atmospheric as hell. No! More dead boys, burning grubs, and ATT there as well, on top of this hill. Oh, and another dead clone there. You'd just hate to see it. Oh no! This is ridiculous. Lads, come on. The command center there, and yet another couple of dead clones. This breaks my heart, man. Here's some more battle droid parts. There was obviously a big battle at this part of the map. So as we circle back round towards the clone spawn, before I talk about the main point of this map, the main talking point, we can actually see confirmation that these LAAT-Cs are in the game. So there's two of them at this landing platform here. Now these are variants of the LAAT that can carry the ATTs into battle and various other vehicles. So that's really cool that these are actually in the game, because I questioned that in Geonosis whether that one that was crashed on the hill was one of these, and I presume it is. So here we go. This is the best part of this map. Just like Geonosis, there is a battle raging on in the background. But this one is a little less, let's run around and just shoot at random things, and more of an actual battle. Like, there's loads of clone troopers here, as you can see, all spread out, running towards the droid front here. There's a smashed up ATT. The lads that are pushed up a bit too far, getting rather a lot of hassle from the droids. Come on, fellas. And speaking of the droids, here we go. They've started to come in from the top now as well. You can see some super battle droids in there. This is just extremely cool, this. Much better than the Geonosis one. Whoa! Whoa! Oh my god! The Hailfire droid just rolled in. There he is. Whoa, slow down, lad. Jesus. So there's also another battle going on. If you look down into this gorge, there's another little skirmish going on down here. Squad of clone troopers and a squad of battle droids. That Hailfire droid rolls in, and then one of the shots from the Juggernauts hits that and blows that up. Very interesting. Here's some more of the squads down in the gorge, fighting the droids. Just very cool. This map is, so far, has been my absolute favourite to explore, and the fights kind of make a little bit more sense than the one on Geonosis. Whoa, Jesus Christ, lad, slow down. Well, look at this. This is cool. This is so cool. And with that,
Goodbye, old friend. May the Force be with you.